Hello, it's Coach Kenya Ray, and today we're going to be talking about choices and how to prioritize those choices. Again, it's Coach Kenya Ray, and I help empower young adults struggling to find purpose so they can make confident education and career decisions to thrive in life. So let's get started talking about those decisions and being overwhelmed by those decisions that we make every day. So one of the things that I like to do when just thinking about what am I going to do for the week is to create a list of priorities and then break down those decisions that are built into those priorities into smaller lists, into more manageable tasks. Because a lot of times it can be overwhelming, completely overwhelming, when it's like, I know I have all of these things to do, but in which order do I do them in? What is the priority? Like, which one should I do first? I'm not really sure what would be best for me to do right now. What's the best use of my time? So, what I like to do is do step by steps. So all you have to do, 15 minutes a day, right? 15 minutes a day, create a list of your top priorities, the things that you want to get done today. You could also stretch that out, next to be a week. But I always like to say, like, what are the top things that I want to get done today? 15 minutes. Break it into smaller, manageable steps. By breaking decisions into smaller tasks, you can make progress towards your goals with greater clarity and confidence. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at how we can walk through that process of creating a prioritized list, breaking down decisions into smaller steps, and I'll give you some practical tips, and we'll walk through an actual example of how we can use this technique in your everyday life. So you can, like I said, it's going to be pretty simple. We're going to, break down some everyday tasks that you would think of. So think of work tasks. You might be thinking homework, even like which projects to get done if you're in school, family time, exercise, meal prepping, self-care. All those things are priorities for some people. Yours may rank in a different order than that. It all goes back to your values, like I talked in another video, of what you consider to be the most important. So now let's take a look. Let's take a look at a way we can break down our tasks for, let's say, working out, and make it into smaller, manageable steps. Okay, this is an Eisenhower Matrix, and I'm going to show you how to use the Eisenhower Matrix in this Google Docs, and I will make sure to put a link to this as well at the bottom of this video. And what we can do is we can use it to characterize your exercise goal into these 4 quadrants based on urgency and importance. So in this first quadrant here, it's what we're going to do first. So here we're going to put a specific goal. So we do need to determine what type of exercise that we want to do. So is it cardio? Do you want to do strength training? Do you want to do yoga? So let's go with strength training. And we want to do that how often, right? We want to say at least 3 times a week. So I'm going to say Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Okay, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I'll type all those out. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. For when we're going to do those exercises 3 times a week. Now I need to figure out, when am I going to block out specific times in my calendar for these exercise sessions. So of course we need to consider our daily schedule and commitments, whatever appointments you have, classes, work, things like that. Personally, I like getting it done first thing in the morning. Can't say that I'm a morning person, but I know that I am best at getting these done early in the morning rather than I started getting busy with my day. So I'm going to say time for blocking this out is going to be between 5:45 a.m. and 6:30 a.m. So I'm going to start strength training Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 5:45 a.m. to 6:35 a.m. And that's going to be my goal, right? That will be my goal. And
Then I have to figure out what exercises or activities that I enjoy that will fit along with this fitness goal. So now that I've had the time and the date, what am I going to do exactly? So what I would do is, there's so many apps out there for exercises. Pick your favorite. Find a strength training routine that you could do for 3 days a week, right? So workout app, strength training, exercises. All right, so we're going to use a workout app, use this training exercises for that. So then it's like, okay, there are some things that are important still. We have to plan it, right? But they're not necessarily urgent, right? So I know I need to do these things immediately, but how can I plan for that? Well, do I have the proper clothes to do strength training, right? So here it's like, okay, like maybe I'll set out my clothes the night before working out. Right? So, it's t-shirt, shorts, socks, underwear, it. Put on some tennis shoes. And if you need a mat, if you're doing it outside or something like that, you might decide you need to have weights. So do I have some maybe 10-pound weights? Might need to make sure I have those ready to go, or if I don't have them, maybe I want to use a jug of water or something heavy, heavy books that I could be using for the strength training, things like that. I might use some exercise bands. As well for the strength training. So I will need to preview the workout prior to starting, so I know what I need. Right, so I know what I need, so that might be a good idea. I don't want to open up the app when I'm just waking up in the morning, ready to go, and then realize I don't have what I need to work out. So preview the workout prior to the night before, so that way I could get started, have everything prepared and ready to go. So first thing though is my plan. Since I'm just starting out, I know I could probably say, yes, first workout day, I'm going to go all out. But no, I know myself. I can get distracted. So I'm going to begin with shorter, easier workouts just to get me into that routine, and then gradually increase intensity and duration as time goes by. So perhaps I'll say my first day, I want to at least do 15 to 20 minutes, right? First day. Second day, 15 to 20 minutes, right? 15 to 20 minutes. Third day, 15 to 20 minutes, right? Because these are doable goals. What's 15 minutes? Lift a couple of weights, do some stretching, 15 to 20 minutes, really is to get me into that routine of being up at 5:45 a.m., being ready to do some exercises and putting in the work. So, and this includes my warm-up, a main workout, and some stretching before and after, right? So I'm going to start out small because I know, being too excited about this goal, then I may not finish it out. So I want to maybe just start pretty small with that. And then I also want to track my progress, right? And tracking your progress, pretty simple. I have it in my calendar as a to-do, right? Like I work out between 5:45 to 6:30. I know I can, it's like checking the box. That's done. And out of the way. I may also want to write it down, like if you keep a workout journal, or if you can track it through a fitness app. I'm going to choose to track progress in the fitness app. Right? I'm going to track the progress there. Any achievements. Maybe I decided to go 25 minutes one day. I'd want to put that stuff in there. And then the key is just to be flexible, right? Be flexible. Sometimes maybe you stayed up late the night before, right? Perhaps you just aren't feeling well that morning. Maybe you're like, oh, I didn't get up before to be ready at 5:45. I'm getting up at 5:45. Okay, I could get started at 6. I gave myself a 45-minute window to work out 15 to 20 minutes, right? And that's working out. That's after I've gotten dressed and gotten everything ready. Thankfully, I set everything out the night before, so I would be ready to go and I have to be looking around for what I'm going to put on for me to work out. Right? So little things that help me figure out what I'm going to do on the day to day. And then the last thing, well, delegation. I mean, I don't need, there's none here because I'm not going to tell someone else to do the exercise. I'd love to, but I can't do that. So I'm not going to, delegate any of this information. And then the last thing I'm going to do is look at this, delete these tasks, right? Are there any that are not urgent, not important, where I can eliminate them altogether? None, because I am working out, right? So, so with this Eisenhower Matrix, we could use a simple task, just like exercising. We can use the same kind of model if we want to work on like writing a paper, an essay paper, a research paper, doing a project. We could set aside what we need to do like right now, today, like, or we can write down what we need to do in the week and break it down in chunks, or some things we can eliminate. I find that, you know, when you do use the Eisenhower Matrix or any type of matrix that helps you figure out like a to-do list of what is to be prioritized as to what can be set aside for another day, and maybe some tasks that aren't as important or those that you can eliminate, I do find that it helps me be more efficient. Like if there is a deadline that I'm working against, well, let me go ahead and, you know, prioritize what I need to finish first in order to meet that deadline, right? Even if it's a week out, so I don't stress myself out. So with this example that we did with organizing, our exercise goal in this manner becomes easier to prioritize tasks and allocate time effectively, ensuring that urgent and important activities are addressed promptly in a timely manner, allowing for scheduling and execution of important but less urgent tasks.
Today we talked about the Eisenhower Matrix, and we used an example of setting a goal for us for exercising, how we can set that up, keep us on track, prioritizing, setting a goal for ourselves, a manageable goal, something to start out with that will help us gradually get better and better at that planning and prioritizing. There are other templates that you can use and apps to help you prioritize. The hardest part is just getting started. Sitting down, looking at, you know, your big to-dos, and then deciding, okay, what do I need to do right now immediately? What is necessary to do immediately? And then as you say, okay, this is the one thing I need to get done today. It's due today, got to get it done, can't procrastinate anymore. Okay, so how can I prioritize what I need to do to get this done? Focusing on that one thing. So like we were talking about exercise. Let's say you have a paper to write. You know, you've gone back to school, you're starting school, you have a paper to write. So you think, okay, I have this paper due on Friday. What do I need to do in order to get this paper completed before that due date? Well, I probably need to start figuring out if I don't have a topic, I need a topic. I need to figure out what is my question, what am I looking, why am I looking for information, what's the purpose of this paper, then start doing some research. How much time am I going to spend doing research on this topic? How much am I going to write per day? I mean, even writing down like how much you're going to write for a paper per day, super important. So, you know, blocking out time to say, I'm going to use this time for 30 minutes of writing. Then I'm going to use another 30 minutes for researching. And then the next day, 30 minutes, maybe I'll switch it up. I'll do 30 minutes of researching, then I'll do 30 minutes of writing. It is easier to do some writing in smaller blocks of time rather than trying to say, I'm going to write for 5 hours today. Some people are capable of doing that. And if you're not one of those people like me, break it down into smaller chunks. At least then you can check off that you have accomplished something within that plan. So now that you've done your prioritizing what I need to do immediately, what my plan is in order to achieve this goal for this one task, writing a paper by the end of this week, then it's like, is there anything I can delegate with this? Is there anything that I can ask someone else? Maybe I'll ask someone to edit as I'm writing. If there's a friend or family member who can look over my work as I complete certain sections to let me know, does it make sense? Does it flow? look for any instances where it looks like I didn't cite information or things like that. I didn't give proper credit to a sentence or information within a paragraph to let me know that information, right? I can delegate those things. So getting that feedback is very helpful, right, in completing the task. And then once I'm done with tasks, like I'm done with all the research, I'm not doing any more research, that goes in my delete tasks list, right? Goes in that delete task list. Once I've completed all the sections, like I've written for 30 minutes every day, I put all of this together. I had a friend of mine kind of look it over for me while I was writing. Now I'm going to put it all together, see what it sounds like, right? Do a final pass and things like that. And then I can delete that task and then move on to the next. I'm going to start over again. So you could use the Eisenhower Matrix or any type of prioritizing app or software. I'll put a few different options in the link below, but hopefully you were able to use this information and you can apply it in any area of your life to help it be a little bit easier in that overwhelming space of decision making. So thanks, and join again with Coach